Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Artist to Artist podcast. This is the show dedicated to helping makeup artists build successful and sustainable careers. I'm Angie, I'm your host. I'm a full-time makeup artist and educator. If you're new to the podcast, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. These episodes are filled with all kinds of insider knowledge about working as a makeup artist. Now today, my neighborhood is very noisy. There's a lot of construction going on, and here's something you might want to know about me. In my apartment, I don't even have one single closet, so I don't have anywhere where I can go that is completely soundproof. So if you hear any construction noises in the back, I'm sorry, this is the best I can do. Today's episode, we are going to be talking about how to manage and make the most of your slow periods. This is a podcast episode I have been getting a lot of requests for because I think it's really hard to figure out what to do when you're not busy because it is stressful and sometimes we have a little bit of a freak out during slow periods. But I think what's best today is for me to put the most important information right at the beginning of this episode so you can hear me loud and clear when I have your attention. I want you to know that you are going to have slow periods. It's completely normal. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing this job for. This year for me has probably been my slowest year in maybe the last 7 or 8 years if I look back. Sometimes your slow periods will last a few days. Sometimes they will last a few months. It's just a normal part of the process. There are a lot of things out of our control with this job, but there's also a lot of things that are within our control, even though it may not feel like it at times. So I wanted to start by telling you that during your downtime, or anytime really, anytime in your career, if you find yourself waiting for something to happen, this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that you can make. Do not wait for things to happen. You want to put yourself in a position where you are making things happen. It is you that is 100% responsible for the success of your career, and I've said this repeatedly because it's an important thing to remember. And I want you to know that you are capable of building a business. If I can do it, you can do it. It's going to feel at times that you do not know what the hell you're doing. And most of us, truthfully, we don't know what we're doing. But the key to this whole thing is that you continue to move forward. And that's why during your downtime, it's really important that you take the steps required to generate or create some momentum in your business. Sometimes the steps that you're going to take in your downtime will be bigger, and sometimes they'll be smaller, but they all help when it comes to building a career. I completely understand how overwhelming and stressful things can be when work is very slow. Believe me, I'm going through this myself right now. And I know for me personally, when things get like this, it's very tempting to just sit around all day, watch reality TV, catch up on all the housewives. Downtimes in your business, they're great opportunities to take some time for yourself to figure out what your plans for your business are and actually think about how to put those plans into action, even if you're not 100% clear on every single thing that you need to do to reach your goals or the exact steps that you need to take. What I'm hoping you'll get from this episode is that you'll understand the areas of your business that you should be directing your energy towards, and you'll be reminded to put in that work during those slow periods. And this is also a good reminder that you just have to keep going because there is no instruction manual for this job. There's no checklist that if you check everything off the checklist, the jobs are going to start rolling in. You have to just keep going, see what works, see what doesn't work. But the worst thing to do is sit around and do nothing or post once or twice on social and then wait for jobs to roll in. In episode 6 of this podcast, I talked about the 4 pillars of success in makeup artistry, and they are technique, service, network, and brand. These are the areas of your business that you should be continuously putting in work on in order to build a career. I'm going to talk a little bit more about those 4 pillars today, and you may want to actually revisit this episode. Either listen to it now, you can pause on this one, or listen to that episode after, but there's a lot of good information in there as well. Here is a quick refresher for you all about the 4 pillars. Technique, your technical skills and ability. Service is the experience that you provide to clients. Network, the connections that you make within the industry. And your brand is how you present yourself and your business to the world. Let's start with the first one, technique. During your slow periods, if you are struggling still technically, this is a great time to sharpen your skills. That should be a primary focus for you. If you know specifically you have things that are catching up to you on your jobs, let's say you're not great at lash application, liner, you're not great or confident working on all skin tones, this is the time that you want to take to yourself to get more confident in these areas of your application. Because at the end of the day, if you're not a great makeup artist, the rest of this is going to be really hard to accomplish. Take an online course, watch tutorials, practice new techniques, try some different products if you can, or get to know the products in your kit a little bit better if you're not quite familiar or comfortable with everything. Remember that continuous learning is the key to getting better. And it's also important that you're staying relevant in this industry. And it's also to have that repetition. It takes a really, really long time to be good at applying makeup. And I always get asked, how do you work faster? How do you do a lot of it comes from practice and just straight up repetition. So downtime, just find a body to do makeup on. It could be your cousin, it could be your friends. Maybe you can find people through your network that will sit for you. But your technical skills, especially when you have significant time off, you want to keep practicing. I know for me, when I have a large chunk of time off, the jobs that I book on the other end of that time off or that downtime, I always find I'm not as fast. Things don't look as good. And each time you practice or try something new, even if you've made a mistake, you've learned something. And through this practice, you may improve on a skill you're struggling with. You may find a better or faster way to do things. You may figure out how to use a product in a better way. So it's all really important stuff. Another great use of your downtime is improving your level of service. And this is especially true for those of you who are working with personal clients, we'll call them. And when I say personal clients, I mean bridal, special event clients, things like that, kind of offset. You may want to review and or refine your booking process. And if you don't have a booking process that's a little bit automated to make things easier for you, you may want to work on that, or you may want to create a booking process for yourself. I always recommend things like communication templates. So if you have emails that you're sending often, create those templates and put them somewhere where you can copy and paste them into an email or a DM very easily. You want to make sure that kind of communication to your clients is always professional, clear, and concise. So these are all things that you can do during this time to make sure that your communication with your clients is very clear and you're giving them all of the information that they need to book with you or work with you. This is also a great time to maybe follow up with clients that you have, ask for feedback or get some testimonials. Those testimonials, of course, they're great for marketing, but they also let you in on your client's experience with you, and you can figure out if there's anything else that you could be doing to improve that level of service. Networking is another pillar that often gets neglected because it is the hardest thing to figure out. It's the most intimidating and does require a ton of work. And I think besides your actual makeup application techniques, figuring out how to network in the right way does take a lot of trial and error. So use your slower periods to reach out and connect with other professionals. And I'll remind you again, good networking is not about getting something from somebody else. It's just making connections with people in your industry. It's as simple as that. And if you start with that mindset and go into your networking efforts with the attitude that I'm just going to put myself out there, introduce myself, see where I can help, you'll get better results from having this mindset versus feeling like your networking is only successful if you book a job or a shoot. Use those slow periods to reach out and connect with other professionals in the industry, check in on clients you've worked with in the past, engage with some fellow artists or photographers or industry people on social media. Take the time to reach out to new photographers or wedding planners or event planners if you're working in that area of the industry. If there's any events going on, you may want to try to get to those. If you can schedule a creative, that is a great use of your time, or a TFP, depending on where you live. There's different names for that kind of thing. But anything you can do to create a new relationship, to nurture a relationship, or to maintain a relationship in the industry is crucial. And remember, it only takes one connection to open up new opportunities. So do not pass this up. Do not overlook it. I know how intimidating it is. I know how frustrating it can be, but just keep chipping away at your networking and nurturing the contacts that you already have. Your brand is the final pillar, and it encompasses everything from your social media presence to the way you show up on set to the way your kit looks. So your downtime is a great opportunity to go through your social media or maybe your website or portfolio, whatever you're using, remove older photos or photos that aren't really serving you anymore or aren't going to be attracting your ideal client, and maybe even take some time to try out some new looks on a friend, or if you can find a model, take photos with your phone and post those on your social. Just make sure you're putting your best foot forward and you're sharing work that highlights what you have to offer. So you're kind of going through what you're putting out to the world and thinking about, how can I make things better? Is this an accurate reflection of what I have to bring to the table as an artist? And it could mean you need to clean up your kit. It could mean you may need to go shopping for some different clothing to wear to set if you can afford it. It could also mean just looking through your social media and deleting photos that are, 7 or 8 years old, or things that you posted just because you felt like you had to post something. All of these things fall under your brand, and you can use your downtime to go through all of that. In addition to focusing on all the to-dos that fall under those 4 pillars, and I hope you're getting some ideas just from hearing me go through this in this episode, I wanted to talk about some lifestyle and mindset things that you can work on as well, because this is very important to our success. And I know for me, it's extremely important to make sure I'm keeping myself as healthy as possible and I'm in the best state of mind that I can be in. When things are slow, reflect on your business and set some goals. I never used to do this, and I started doing this in the last couple of years. And I find goal setting, whether you're writing it down, whether you're doing a mood board, however you want to get those goals sort of out of your mind and on paper, this does keep you accountable and it keeps you motivated. So think about where you would want to see yourself in the next 6 months, the next year, the next 5 years. Start to write down what steps you think you would need to take to get yourself there. Those steps are kind of going to act like a checklist for you, and you may have some things that are not completely clear, but again, the point is during your downtime, you're creating momentum and you're working towards some of the things that you want to accomplish. A really helpful thing to do is to pick up a new skill that complements your makeup artistry. This could be photography. And when I say photography, I don't mean buying an expensive camera. I mean learning how to use your phone in a way that could maybe improve the photos of your makeup application. You may want to learn more about marketing or social media marketing or even email marketing. You may want to take some time to learn about some CRM software to help manage your clients. Diversifying your skill set like this, it is very much a secret weapon, and it will all help with marketing your services as a makeup artist. Slow periods are a great time to get organized. You can clean your kit, you can update your inventory, you can plan your content for social media, you can relabel things in your kit or put labels on things that maybe you wanted to label but haven't had time for. You can work on your accounting or catch up on your accounting, or develop some systems to keep you posting regularly on social media or keep your accounting up to date. A well-organized business does run more smoothly, and when things are organized, this will also help to save you time and maybe even money in the long run. For example, if you're behind on emails, you may miss a job. If you take too long to get back to a client, you may miss out on an opportunity. If you are very behind on your accounting, you may be missing some invoices that you need to send, or this could cost you money at tax time. So really getting yourself organized, and to take things one step forward, you may even want to put something into place that keeps you on top of the things that you're falling behind in, like posting on social media, like your emails, like your accounting. If you can create a system for yourself so you can stay on top of these things when work does come back and you do get busier, this is going to keep your business organized and it's going to be less stressful for you. And the last thing we have to talk about is, of course, making sure you are practicing some good self-care and you're recharging your batteries. So do not forget to take care of yourself. I am very bad at doing this myself. One of my character flaws is that I always put myself last, and I do pay for it. Eventually, it all kind of adds up. So it's a great time to work on your well-being. A healthy artist is a successful artist. I say this all the time. Try to get yourself on a good sleep schedule. Move your body every single day that you're off. practice mindfulness and meditation, eat properly and at regular times. And if you know you have a busy period coming up, set yourself up for success during those busy periods. Do some meal prep and planning, get some healthy snacks together. Just really take some time to take care of yourself, even if you want to put together a little workout schedule with some short workouts that you can do when things are getting busier. All of this stuff helps. When we are taking care of ourselves, that means we are bringing our best self to our clients, and clients pick up on these things. And a lot of the times, especially with clients that work with you regularly, sometimes it has to do more with the person that people want to spend time with versus the skill when it comes to booking a makeup artist. And if you are taking care of yourself, your clients can feel this. Your mindset is going to be better. You are going to be happier. Your attitude is going to be better. You're going to be easier to work with. Taking care of yourself is a really great way to make the most out of your slow periods. And as you know, when things get busy, it becomes very hard to do this. So if you can create some habits for yourself where you can eat properly, get some good sleep, you can work out regularly, this is going to help you during those more chaotic times, and you'll be better for it overall. That is everything I wanted to share with you for this episode. So the next time you're in a slow period, remember it's not a setback, but an opportunity to build and strengthen your business, and focus on the things that are going to make you money. And that's where the 4 pillars come in. So you may want to jump back to episode 6 and listen to that if you want some more clarity on those things. Thank you for listening today. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe. You can also share this episode with another makeup artist, leave a review if you really like what I'm doing here, and don't forget to check out some of the previous episodes. I've shared a lot of great things on this podcast, and if there is a topic that I haven't talked about that you'd like me to get into, don't hesitate to send me a DM on the Artist to Artist Instagram account with a podcast topic you'd like to hear. I hope you have a great rest of the week, and I will talk to you next week.